You know, there's so many questions to be asked when it comes to what happened with Microsoft and with Activision. And yes, there's a lot of companies that are going to look into it. I don't have a feeling that they're going to find anything illegal with what's going on, but there was one kind of slapping, one kind of like in your face moment that I just thought was hugely unbelievable that people aren't really kind of catching up on. But I thought that this was maybe something that was a little bit of salt in the wound towards Sony. And a lot of people are talking about Sony and should they come up with something to some way or somehow to actually go out there and do something to respond. I think that this is something that really it needs to be done. Like before, I honestly didn't think that it was something that needed to be done, but at the same time I think that this is something that 100% now needs to be able to be done. They need to answer. They need to do something. They need to have something to kind of combat this, right? We don't know 100% exactly what's going to happen, but I can tell you this much: it's going to be very interesting, and I'm excited to talk about this. And I think it's going to be a very good video. And it's just something that I can't believe that this is going to be happening. So, what's up, everybody? It's me, Crapgamer, and this, of course, is Crapgamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and of course, much more. You'll probably notice a few changes around here, and hopefully that doesn't stop you from giving us a like and possibly consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for taking some of your time out of your busy schedules to spend some time with me today in one of my videos. It means a lot. So we know that Microsoft is buying Activision. This isn't going to go through till sometime late next year. So if you're worried about Call of Duty possibly not going back to PlayStation, Microsoft kind of commented on it, but it was almost the same type of comments they were using when they were buying ZeniMax/Bethesda. I would 100% assume that Warzone is going to continue to stay on PlayStation when it comes to the mainline Call of Duty games that come out every year. Who knows? You know what I mean? I'm not sure what's going to happen. I just think that you won't have to worry about it for at least a few years. And what I mean by that is, this year's Modern Warfare 2, of course, is going to come out on PlayStation. It might even be marketed by PlayStation. And then with the deal not going through till late next year, whatever next year's Call of Duty is, that's when, it would come out, of course, since they're already planning for that. And Sony could have some kind of deal still marketing with them. Who knows how long that goes for, but it would have to be honored and things like that. So, the soonest you would see some kind of real change or maybe something not come to PlayStation would be 2024. So, obviously, not something to really worry about right now. There's also the fact of the matter is, even with Activision's and Microsoft's revenue in gaming and things like that, it still would put them firmly in third place in the competition. If you want to kind of compare them to PlayStation and things like that, PlayStation would obviously still be number one, but it would still put them in third. And then if they were to make exclusives, that would cut their revenue even further and push it back even more. So I don't know, it's a weird type of situation. But the thing that I thought was like kind of a big kind of slap in Sony's face was the fact that two Sony known franchises are definitely going to be Xbox and probably Xbox exclusive going forward. Think about that, right? How crazy is it to think that that we live in a time and a day and age where Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon are both Xbox games now. Like, man, that absolutely just kind of blows me away to think about it. I think that that's something that a lot of people aren't talking about. That is a direct thing to sort of, in my opinion, that really kind of sticks it to Sony. And I think Sony really needs to do something about this pretty quickly, and they need to do it, and they need to respond as quick as possible. Now, one of the more interesting things that came up was the fact that basically what we're seeing now is it looks like Bobby Kotick is going to be leaving afterwards. But this is what Phil had to say about, and this is what kind of reportedly they're going to keep some Activision games exclusive and some aren't. As you may have heard, Microsoft just turned up the heat on the console war in the biggest way, purchasing Activision for nearly $70 billion. Does this mean massive franchises like Call of Duty and Diablo are now exclusive? Well, not necessarily. According to a Bloomberg report on the mega merger, Microsoft is planning to keep making some of Activision games for PlayStation consoles, while others will become Xbox exclusives. Now, Jeff Grubb, you guys know him, Grubhub, He says Warzone will remain, and he's just speculating here, just like me though. He says Warzone will remain multi-platform, but I think main Call of Duty games go exclusive. Microsoft already ran the numbers on every scenario with Bethesda, and they determined exclusivity to Game Pass is the best way to drive goals. So of course he's largely speculating, but nobody saw this coming. It's just one of those things that we kind of see. And then I was looking at when we see what's going on with Windows Central, they kind of said, hey, we don't really know, but we wouldn't really know for years to come anyway. Now, when it comes to Bobby Kotick, Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick to step down from the company once it is fully acquired by Microsoft, according to a report from the Wall Street Journal. Sources who spoke with the Wall Street Journal are familiar with the situation, and they indicate that once the deal goes through, which is currently expected to happen sometime before June 2023, Kotick will be stepping down. Activision Blizzard still faces a lawsuit and other legal problems with allegations over the past several months that the company allowed systematic sexist workplace practices to go unpunished alongside allegations of abuse. Prior to the news of this acquisition, head of Phil Spencer noted that Xbox had changed some things about working with Activision Blizzard, though he declined to offer details. He said, "We have changed how we do certain things with them, and they're aware of that, but I also think this isn't about, for us as Xbox, virtue shaming other companies. Xbox's history is not spotless," according to Spencer. Microsoft obviously acquiring Activision Blizzard for almost $70 million, which is practically 9 times the $7.5 billion that Microsoft paid to acquire ZeniMax Media, parent company of Bethesda Softworks, back in September 2020. When the deal closes, the Xbox first-party family will consist of 32 different studios across 3 publishers. Activision Blizzard manages multiple teams with franchises in its portfolios. Now, see, what we're seeing now is consolidation, folks. We're seeing consolidation, and not everybody's going to think that this is, obviously the biggest or the best news ever, right? Because it's a big deal, and this is consolidation, and you're going to see more consolidation. It's like an arms race, right? Sony can't not respond. This isn't the same thing as Bethesda, right? Bethesda was a big deal, but not as big a deal as this, because Activision has a recurring 400 million people on their monthly active users. Now, when Microsoft starts getting, let's just say for instance, they decide to keep Call of Duty, all Call of Duty's multi-plat, right? Then next time we hear, their first report or their earnings reports and things like that after they've been purchased, they can go, okay, well, we saw this amount of earnings, blah blah blah, and we had 550 million monthly active users. That sounds really good, in my opinion, to investors and things like that, especially given the fact that we rarely see anything for these companies over 120 million by themselves. And now Microsoft is basically buying a company that has 400 million monthly active users. And think about how many monthly active users are on Minecraft and how many monthly active users are on, you can count that. Your monthly active user for Xbox, even if you're playing Call of Duty on PlayStation. It's crazy to think about that. And it's kind of a slap in the face if you think about it. But there looks like there could be some kind of response, which I thought was very interesting. So Gary Whitta said, if you thought Xbox Activision was the biggest gaming news story of the day week, just wait. Now, he used to do kind of funny games and things like that. He is maybe in the know a little bit, pretty big player. We'll have to see if that has something to do with Sony making some kind of buyout, if there's some kind of big news coming on that end. But we do know that this is very much a competition-laden industry, and we're going to keep seeing these people compete against each other, and that's going to be the very interesting part going forward. I'm going to link all of this. You guys can let me know what you think. Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe, rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crapgamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crapgamer out.